Ooh, I got a chili cheese fry right here. This is a chili cheese fry that I stopped off to get. Y'all know I tell you all the time, I'm a cheese head. I eat that. I eat that cheese. Look at it. And it's good. And it's so good. Let me put this over here. What y'all doing? Hey. Look at that. I'm about to sleep good tonight. Hey, Judy. Darlene. Crow. Diane. Teresa. Yvonne. Let me get that little cheese from right there. I just made it home. Who wants some? Baby, I'm telling you right now, this chili cheese fry is so good, I'm going to let y'all look at this. Hey, Valencia. Valencia, I didn't ask you 1,000 times, I'm exaggerating, for you to call me. Terry Brewer, Paula, Yvonne, Jessica, Exie Williams. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I hope you don't be one of them people. Please don't be one of those people. Because I've never seen your name before. But I'm going to welcome you anyway. Like I welcome everybody. Look at it. Baby, look at that. So I told them I wanted extra chili because, you know, I like extra everything. I like extra everything. Thank you, Valencia. Hey, Phoebe. Hello, Fraser. Hey, Angela. Your mom and I talked for a long time because she talked to me all the way to almost until I got to Palestine, just about. Okay, Exie. I just never. Y'all see, I'm home. I'm home sweet home. I just have one message that I want to say to someone. And I'm trying to see if you're going to come on here. Because, see, I don't know. Because she didn't tell me who you were. Who sent her a message. And how many times have I told you all that YouTube, there's someone on YouTube who has a fake page in my name. Someone on YouTube has a fake page in my name, okay? So this person, one of these followers on here, I don't know which one of you all, who it was, but I want to tell you, I'm going to tell you something like this. Mind your own damn business, okay? That's what I want to tell you. And the next thing I want to tell you, I haven't been on YouTube in 5 months, okay? Ever since I figured out that there was nothing that YouTube was going to do with those people taking my videos and putting it on that fake page. So you go back. So you text my daughter, you sent my daughter a message the other day. She didn't say who you are. But you sent my daughter a message the other day and said that I put that video of that day from me at Candace, when Candace was on here in my place with me. I put it on YouTube. Baby, I didn't put nothing on YouTube, okay? I put nothing on YouTube. I have not dropped anything on YouTube in 5 months, okay? So stop spreading rumors about me putting something on YouTube, and I know I didn't. What you say? Not I. Yeah. Stop spreading rumors. You had the nerves to inbox my daughter and tell her that tell my daughter that I put a video from the confrontation from the other day on YouTube when I went live after she did. I didn't. I did not do that. I haven't been on YouTube in 5 months. Learn the difference between my live video and a screen record video, okay? And look at the name. Look at the name and look at how many followers on that page right there. Look at the name and look at the followers or how many people are on that page. Cuz I didn't do it. So one of y'all people on here had the nerves to inbox my daughter and tell her that I put a video on YouTube. And I didn't. I put it on everything I love. Stop playing with me. You know who you are. Unfollow me, okay? Unfollow me. Because you don't know the whole truth. I want you to unfollow me. And they steal people videos all the time. And I'm telling you all would know if I went on YouTube, okay? You're going to see me on YouTube. I'm going to do it myself. Or I'm going to put it on there. You all going to see the writing on there. Carol said it wasn't me. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know what's wrong with people. I guess these people just feel like, hey, she was so right in everything she said. But you know what? Y'all can believe what the hell you want to believe and think what you want to think. But when you get to going and inboxing my daughter, and you've been watching me, and you get to inboxing my daughter, I've seen some people, and I've seen this other lady who call herself, I'm not even gonna say your name, but you know what? You need to mind your own business. That's what you need to do, because you didn't grow up with me, nor did you grow up with my daughters, and you don't know the real truth, and you don't know the real story. Okay, but anyway. I came on here to let you all see my food. I just wanted to let that people know I see you. Stop following. When you see that I block you, you gonna know. Especially this one last person that I'm talking about. When you see that I block you, you gonna know that I know who you are. You may have been the one that told her that I put that on YouTube. I haven't been on YouTube in 5 months, probably 6 months. Okay. So stop going and go telling my daughter that I put a video on YouTube and I didn't. I'm going to put something positive on there, not something negative, okay? That wasn't anything for me to share, all right? Maybe you all will share it, or you will share it, but not me. So anyway, I'm going to finish eating my chili cheese. Y'all want to see it again? I came and got me a fork, a real fork. Baby. I'm not going to eat all down there. I just want all the cheese and the chili on top. Exactly. Unfollow. On some of them fake ass supporters on here that's been following me for a long time, you should already know my character. And then you want to come, you want to go hurry up and go jump ship like you know me. You don't know me. Look at that. I'm back at home. I don't have my stand in here, so. And I was so hungry because I didn't have anything to eat. Exactly, Judy. And guess what? For the ones that's in the background, wondering why I don't sit down, I'm about to leave again tomorrow. I'm back home now. But one thing for certain and two things for sure. I have a home to come to, my own home. I can unlock that door. I can unlock that door, come inside this house anytime I want to, and can't nobody do nothing about it. And I can leave out. I'm leaving out tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'll leave out Sunday. But I'm leaving because I got it like that, boo. Yep. I got it like that. I can come and go as I please. You never had chili cheese fries, Peggy? I just want what's at the top. That's right, Joyce Jacobs. Plenty of them haters. They wish they could move around like I do. Hey, Sylvia. They wish they could move around like me. One thing for certain, two things for sure. I've been blessed. People don't like it when you've been blessed. They want to see you fall. But if I be ignorant towards people, you might be able to see me fall. If you can't see me progress, you might be able to see me fall. Because I done been ignorant towards somebody. Okay? Hey, Rochon Kathy Adams. Thank you. Let me tell you this though. Candy Apple not here. That's Rochon Kathy Adams. Candy Apple not here. Baby, they put me so much cheese on the top of that. I told them the last time I came up, I went there and I haven't had this in probably about... Valencia, if you don't call me, it's going to be a problem. I had to try to hurry up and get back home before it got dark because I don't like driving. That's why I got off that live earlier, because I started looking at that time. When it got dark, it was starting to get, well, it wasn't starting to get dark, but when probably about 30 minutes before I made it here, it started getting dark outside. And that's the last thing, I do not like driving in the dark. I do not like driving when it's dark outside, boo. But I can't eat all that. I can't eat all them fries down there. But I sure can eat the top. That top had all that cheese on there. I tell you all, for real, I'm a cheese head. I love me some cheese. I believe it, Jesse. But there's lots of room for all of us in this world, okay? I've never been on here and try to down talk or belittle someone just because. What I have did was try to encourage a lot of people. Anybody can do it. All it takes is a change in your life. All it takes is a change in your life. Deborah Johnson, I send you a message for you to call me. I'm waiting on your call, but I'm kind of glad you didn't call me today because I was kind of upset. Only because of certain words, but anything else, I can handle that. Because God knows who I am. And I want you all to know, I love my life. I love the fact that I can get up and go when I want to. That seems to bother a lot of people. I'm just trying to show people that there's more than just sitting at home. You can do other things, okay? You don't have to retire and just sit and mope at home. Explore. Baby, I'm about to go to California. When I come back from California, then I'm going to Miami. When I go back from Miami, I'm not going to tell you all my next one. You'll see. Can't tell you the next move. But I'm going. I'm going to be gone. I am going to be gone. I want to say that I thank you all for your support. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your support. Even the support that the haters give, they're gonna be all right when all their swelling go down. Some people tend to be more swole than the next person. You have to hate Terry Gentry. You have always stood up to your name. Marion's amazing. Yes, yes, yes. And I thought about that name long years ago when I first had that first catering event with Serena Williams. I talk about good things when I want to. I try not to bring anything negative in here, okay? I've talked about my job. I've talked about, there's a lot of things that I choose not to talk about. Retirement opens up traveling. Yes. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you so much. Good evening, Veronica. And for the ones that's coming in here, and you may have been on that other page, don't pay that no attention. Sit back and look at a person for yourself. I have a lot of supporters that sit back, which I call the bushes, okay? Which I call the bushes. They sit back and they observe, okay? So once you sit back and you observe a person, you get a chance to see who that person is. I have a lot of supporters that's been following me for a very long time. And they know that I'm not a drama person, okay? I'm not a person that's getting ready to come on here and say something to you out the ordinary unless you say something to me out of the ordinary, okay? There's some people that just cannot understand life. There's lots of room for all of us. When I was working for the city of Houston and we had new employees coming on, one of my main things that I would always tell them when I was trying to train them, and I said trying to train them because everybody's not going to listen. So when I'm trying to train them, I always told them, make sure you hold on to this job right here. Because the longer you own this job, the better it is for you. Make sure that you are able to stay. Because when you go from job to job, you'll never be able to find a retirement home. Okay? And what I mean about retirement home, I mean retiring from a job. So it took me time to understand in my life, and to be able to be who I am, and to see things in life, and me raising my daughters from way back in the day, and for me to sit back and say, hey, I don't care if I have $20 to last me for 2 weeks, for the next 2 weeks, as long as our bills are paid. That's all that mattered to me. That's all that mattered. And so sometimes people, they don't know how to explore themselves like that. They don't know how to explore themselves like that. They don't know how to, because a lot of people, what it is that some people, they are still inside of a box. They still inside that box. And they got a box like this. You call this a box right here. So do you think for 1 minute, if I stayed inside this box, would I progress? You can't progress by staying inside of the box, and you don't want to go out there and do better for yourself. It's okay, Annette. I'm sorry also. I'm sorry also for the drama. If you have to see these people, the ones that's on here that's been following me for a long time. I am not that person that a person try to set me out to be. I am who God set me out to be. Okay? That's who I am. But one thing that I did know back in the day, long years ago, I had to come outside of a box. I had to come outside that box. If I wanted to progress, I had to come out that box and be me, who God wanted me to be. He didn't want me to be out there and be hateful and ignorant and doing all kind of, saying all kind of things to people to hurt their try to hurt their feelings and all that. I always use this word. I always use these words right here. Hurt people, try and hurt people. Now I could say, people say, oh, well, don't pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to that. And I will tell you all, you boo. Exactly, Katrina Chanel. I'm sorry. I tell people that you can't tell a person what to say, especially if you don't know their feelings. Okay, if this is not happening to you, how can you guide anyone else in a direction that has not come your way? And we're talking about on this internet. So the full thing and the full measure is to try to make a person look bad. Okay, try to make a person look bad. I'm not that person, okay? God knows who I am. Only thing that bothered me was that fool bringing up my sister, okay? And I'm very good. I'm a very good person. Very good. Very good. And I do have a heart. I have a heart. And I have a forgiving heart. You know, sometimes when you go through things at an early age, or things that go on in your life, or things that you didn't understand, or things that you wanted to understand, but you'll never understand it. Okay? I didn't grow up with my father, but it didn't make me be who I am today. It didn't stop me from being who I am today, because God says that it's just like saying a person that passed away. You're supposed to get past that. Okay? Yes, people make the internet terrible. Exactly, Gigi. Hello, Alberta. You're supposed to get past it. And sometimes everybody's not the same. Some people can get past it and some people can't. But let me tell you how you can't get past it. It's when you keep lingering on it. Or then you start to think things in your mind that's not even there. Okay? Or think things in your mind that didn't really happen. Okay? I know who I am. And you know what they say. That song, remember that song in church? You used to go in with your mom and your dad, your grandmother. And that song, I'm a hard fighting soldier. On that battlefield. I am. I've been a hard fighting soldier on the battlefield. If some of them knew about that, they'll know what it's like to fight and be a hard fighting soldier. Who remember that song? I love to think about good things and think about what I can do, what I can't do. You know, not dwell on the past. You can't dwell on something that wasn't there. You know, make believe things that wasn't there. I love life. I love people. I know who I am. But when you have someone that hates you and envy you so much. Hey, Miss Norma, I'm at home, baby. I made it home, Norma. That envy you. I already told them that you talked to me on that phone. We talked on that phone, baby. And we had the greatest conversation. Much love to you. Thank you so much. Veronica says she remembers she is 72 years old. So, Veronica, if you remember, and I'm 62 years old. So there's a lot of things, that, and I'm gonna be honest with you all. Your husband lead that song at church, Judy. Yeah, that's a powerful song right there. And a lot of people, like when people pass away, they play. That's one of the songs that they love to play right there. The battlefield, fighting. Yes, Judy. So I lost my thought of what I was getting ready to say. Like I said, a lot of you. Yes, Norma. Much love to you also. And I got you. I'm sorry I wasn't able to meet you today, to meet up with you today. But, and you know I tried. Exactly, Deborah Johnson. You on that battlefield for the Lord. You said for my Lord. Yes. I'm on that battlefield. See, no one knows the next person's testimony. Okay, and I've spoke my testimony quite a few times. So a lot of you know. You know about me. You just don't know me. Okay? You know about me, but you just don't know me. You want to know why? Because you wasn't around me. You all wasn't around me through those days, okay? Hey, Billy Walker. I love you also, Billy Walker. I saw you on Boss Lady page the other day, and I spoke to you, Billy. Hey, Billy. I'm okay, Billy. I am good, Billy. Thank you so much, Billy, for stepping in and coming in and saying hi, boo. You all, that's Billy Walker. Billy Walker come in. He probably come in maybe 2-3 times out the year. But he's still here. And he's still holding that supporters badge. Look at him. That subscriber badge. I see you, Billy. Yeah, we have to fight for our own life, There's a lot of people in this world that grew up, and they maybe a lot of people grew up with a lot of things going on in life, okay? But just because you had something going on in life, I'm not staying at home. I'm about to go. I'm about to go. Billy, there you go, Billy. I'm going to read what Billy just said. The saying is, when I see my glory, but you don't know my story. Hallelujah, Billy Walker. Exactly. The saying is, when I see my glory, but you don't know my story. And no one is going to know your story. Maybe the ones that's been around you. Maybe the ones that want to be you. Maybe the one, you can always have. Jealousy is not on the outside. Jealousy is not only on the outside. Jealousy is on the inside also. Okay? And they sit inside that box because they still can't get that jealousy out of their heart. All right? One thing that I don't ever want to do is be jealous of anyone. Okay? And I put that on everything I love. Everything I love. You all tell Billy Walker, respond to Billy Walker on what he just said. You respond to him. In fact, Billy, I'm gonna have to. I love what you said, Billy. Look, I'm looking all crooked right here because I've been like this and like that and like this. I gotta fix this. You can't see what he say. The saying is, when I see my glory, but you don't know my story. Baby, none of you know my story. You really don't even know Cherie's story. You don't know Carolyn's story. You don't know Candace's story. You don't know my family's story at all. But then you have, just because we come on social media, just because we come on social media and we share, you know, I share with you all my family. I share with you all my grandkids, my cousin Bay, our family reunion, when we had our family reunion. I share with you all the time. All the time. And I find nothing wrong with that, because you know what? You know, I get a lot of messages from our supporters and telling me, I just love the way that you are right there, always by your family. I wish I can be there with my family. See, a lot of people, I don't know the next person's story on this blue app. But you want to come in and you want to pretend like you know this and you know that about a person, but you really don't know their story. Okay? I don't know all the great positive messages that I receive. And I try to respond to as many as I can. I've missed a whole lot of them. But you all be careful. Always remember, blood is always going to be thicker than water. Okay? Blood is always going to be thicker than water. When you sit back and you trying to destroy, and you think you can destroy a family? No. Family destroy themselves. Okay? But what I will not do is participate in the destroying. Because I've never came on this blue app and said anything out of the ordinary but brought my sister up. I've never came on here and said, oh, I'm having a bad day because this happened over here with my daughter. Or I'm having a bad day because that happened over there with my cousin. I'm having a bad day. I never came on here and said none of that. But they wanted to be that. Yeah, people, exactly, Jill. Yep, people don't know if you have tears behind that smile. They don't know that. Sometimes I get on here and I smile to you all, and I may not have had the best day. But I still show you all a smile. My gratitude for you all still being here and showing up. You know, what I do. Hey, Billy White. Billy Walker, what you had to say, Billy? Walk in your destiny and let people talk. You sure right about that. Misery loves company, Billy. Hey, Billy. Billy, we have another Billy right here. Hello, that's Billy White. Billy Walker, Billy White, Billy Walker, for real. One day I got Billy White mixed up with you. I was so excited and I saw that name, Billy, and didn't even pay attention that it was spelled different and the last name was different. I got so excited until I had to look again. I said, oh, that's not Billy Walker. Hold on, I just saw something that was very positive. Yes, I'm always smiling. Always smiling. And I'm not getting ready to come in here and say something about Carolyn, you know, or something about Cherie, or something about Candace, or Christy. Because that's none of you all's business. And there my baby girl calling me right now. She realized. Some people cry inside. Some people cry inside. And sometimes, you know, that's the worst thing to do in life. That's the worst thing to do in life. But what I realize is that, I see a fly in here. Hold on. Where'd it go? That fly came in here so fast, it made my head spin. It must have heard me when I said I see a fly in here. He gonna die when I'm gone. Because there's not going to be no heat on, no air on up in here at all. I keep all that off. Exactly, but sometimes blood don't make you kin. You sure right about that. If people are not talking about you, they ain't doing anything. Exactly, Billy Walker. There's my Billy Walker. Hey, Elder. Wait a minute. Exactly, Avis. Billy Walker used to always get the first bite. Remember when I was living in my house? Billy Walker was on there all the time, and he always got the first bite. He beat you all to saying he wanted. He want that bite. Billy, you've been everybody else. He felt like he came in, and one time he said he felt like he lost a lot of weight because he haven't been seeing my live. Billy, how much weight you lost already? I know you lost some more weight, Billy. Keep it real. Hey, T.Y. The devil is very busy. Very, very busy. Yes, the life that I talk about, for real, seriously. I was just trying to explain that maybe to you all or someone else earlier today. When you have a person that's on the outside and trying to look in and try to speak on something that has no knowledge of, has no knowledge of. I'm going to give them something to talk about, because this is how God blessed me, okay? This is how God blessed me. So you can't get blessings like that by being evil towards people, okay? By being evil towards people. I've always been a hard worker at my job. I've always loved my job. And I moved up. And one of the biggest first things that a person told me was, get your foot in the door. Get your foot in the door, okay? And so I said, yeah, I got to get my foot in the door, but how am I going to do it? I'm not getting ready to go to bed with anybody to get my foot in the door, because I'm going to be a very respectful woman like I've always been. Okay, so I filled out the application. I didn't make the first cut, but I made the second one. Okay, I made it the second time. I'm gonna keep that story short. And so I worked in the recreation department, and I was worked in a warehouse in the beginning. Okay, there was a lady that hired me. Her name was Sandy Harris, who passed away probably about 4 or 5 months after she actually hired me. And I prayed that I got that job, and even though it wasn't paying much at all, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, because I listened to that one person. That person said, just get your foot in the door. So I get my foot in the door. I left HISD, got my foot in the door, and then all of a sudden things just started going up for me. I told them, that's back then when Calvin Murphy was working for the city of Houston with his drill team. I had my daughters, in the drill team right along with his team. And I remember the time him working with the city of Houston, I used to buy his equipment. I love Mad Faces. I used to buy his equipment for the drill team, and Calvin was always the nicest man ever. And so me just having the opportunity to be around him and to know him, not only watching him on TV, being a commentator and showing the joy that he had for basketball. So every time his birthday would come up, when his birthday came up and I got to know him, he would invite me and a few other co-workers to his birthday party at his house. And we all had such a great time, because I was the one that was buying all of his stuff. And so that was my very first time meeting someone as high as Calvin Murphy. Calvin Murphy did and said a whole lot of beautiful things. I never had to worry about him trying to talk to me, because he always loved big women. And back then I was probably wearing probably a size 5'6", about 5'6". I ain't had no meat on me. And so then, things just started looking just a little bit different. And I decided, and so then I when they did what they was doing to Calvin Murphy back then, it hurt my heart so bad, but there was nothing that I can say. It was nothing that I can say, but I truly knew the truth. I knew the truth. I looked at the signatures. They tried to set him up with the signatures and all that. I had Calvin's signature, so he would sign off on all the purchasing paperwork, and by him signing off on the purchasing paperwork for all the drill stuff, they tried to say that he was signing off on something that didn't, and I said to myself, that is not Calvin's signature. I went back to my desk and I got a copy of the signature, and I pulled the information up off the internet, and I compared the signatures, and I said, that is not Calvin's signature. That's not him. And even when it came to his daughter, who tried to say things about him touching her, and I knew that wasn't true, because the day that she called him on the phone, she was asking him for money, and that wasn't her first time. And I happened to be a witness. I had my grandson DeVal, because back then I could take my kids to work with me back then. So I had DeVal. I took DeVal to work with me. It was mainly DeVal, because he was the oldest one. And so people knew him at my job, and knowing that cute little boy right there. And so I walked into Calvin's office with DeVal, and he was talking to his daughter, and so he just put his hand up like that. And that wasn't, well, and believe me, and that wasn't my first time walking in there. So I know the full story when it comes to Calvin Murphy. So if anyone feels any odd feeling about him, I was right there with him, and knowing and listening to that conversation. She, hey Candy, I tried to call you. She was threatening him on the phone and saying, if he didn't help him, because her boyfriend had just gotten into another car accident. That was like his fourth accident that he got into. And every time he'd get in an accident, Calvin would bail them out. So this last time, he said no. The next thing I know, he was being charged with messing with his kids. So she told him that she was going to do something to hurt him. But I couldn't say anything because I'm with the city of Houston. But I want to say that I tried to tell it to some people, but back then, you I knew the truth. So just like a person coming on the internet trying to say something about me, and then you all are on the outside looking at Calvin Murphy in a different way, but I knew the truth on it. But my girls used to be in the drill team and all that. And so then he ended up not being with the city anymore, and so I felt kind of discouraged about everything. And so I went to one of the purchasing managers, and I asked that purchasing manager if they can give me a try in purchasing, because I already knew all the warehouse information and how we come in. I was doing all the paperwork in the back. And so I asked them if they would give me a try. So I didn't hear. So finally one day before I got to work, they ended up calling me on the phone and told me that they will give me that try in purchasing. So I started working in purchasing for the city of Houston. So that means that I was buying lots of equipment, uniforms, and more like badges, the badges the stickers that we have on our shirts, and all of the office supplies and all that kind of stuff. So I really learned a whole lot when it came to purchasing. And then something horrible happened at the job with a female, and I didn't feel comfortable, because when you're working in purchasing, it's very high and political. Very high and political. You're working with a bunch of these high-end contracts. So working in purchasing, you're working with contracts, okay? Yes, I made it home. So you're working with contracts, and then you're working with the contracts. You have the Glenbrook contract, which is the golf course out there in Houston, huge golf course. And I don't want to go into exactly what they did to her, but I can say this: they wanted her to change some clause in the contract, and she knew it wasn't right for her to change those clauses in the contract. And then one day they just up and just came to her. She came back from lunch, and I was sitting at my desk eating lunch, and all the people from the office in the front just came back there, and she had just went to the restroom and they wouldn't have stood in her office, and they wouldn't let her back in her office, and they was actually escorting her off the premises. That broke my heart so bad. And for me to see how these contracts run and how things go within the city. And when a person really don't know their rights and how to go by it, there's a lot that I learned when it came to your employee handbook and dealing with contracts and dealing with the high end part, which became very scary. And what made me want to get out of that department and out of contracting was because they started threatening her life. This is how political this was. They started threatening her life, and they knew that her and I were close because she would come to the beauty shop and get her hair done. And then I was walking in one day, and one of the managers was saying, "Yeah, I heard him saying on the phone he wasn't expecting for me to be in that early." And then plus I came in through the back door where the restroom is, and he was saying, "Yeah, she goes over there and get her hair done at the beauty shop where Marion works." Because I would work in the daytime and get off, and then go work at the beauty shop when I got off of work. And I heard that, and I knew right then I had to get out of there because that didn't sound right to me. That didn't sound right to me. I mean, I never heard from her ever again. I know she was from Louisiana. I know I never heard it. It made the news. It all made the news. I'm not bringing anyone onto my live. I'm sorry. But it made the news, and it was just a scary feeling. So I decided that I wanted to get out of that out of the purchasing department, because it wasn't for me. The political part of it was really high end. When you all saw me with the dress on, the two-piece on, and when I did that chat GPT with the briefcase in my hand. Those were my days and how I looked when I went to work every day, because I worked in purchasing and I did my job. My aunt used to buy my clothes for me, and it was so beautiful. My uncle, my dad's brother. And so then it came to the point to where I wanted to get out of that department. And so I got out of that department, and I got hired on into the water department. Went into a department that I knew nothing about. And so I didn't know how to shut water off. I didn't know how to shut off no water. I didn't know how to do none of that. I didn't know anything about fire hydrants. You all see you have fire hydrants in your neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. You open it up. I used to go out there and shut off water mains and all that. I shut water mains off. And that's how I became to have these strong little muscles too, besides working out, going to work, working out at the gym. But the things that I used to do back then. And then it got to the point, I had to stand my ground at work as a female, okay? Excuse me, I actually had to stand my ground at work. Me being a female, and you working around a bunch of men, and then the first thing when they saw me coming in there for the first day, they looked at me like new meat. I'm no new meat to anyone at all. There was one guy used to always wait for me to come in the morning. And he would speak to me every morning. 2 or 3 times. And one morning I just got tired of him speaking. And I said, "Look, how many times are you going to speak to me? You just spoke to me like 2 times already. It don't take that many times for you to speak to me." So I just, at that time I got a little attitude. And so I just went on about my business. He apologized and everything. And then me working and we had, I remember her name. Her name was Miss Claudette Rivers. She was the big wheel over in our department on the water side. And she gave me so much encouragement, and she heard so much about me and my good work ethics, and learning how to shut these water lines off, and standing out there working better than men out there. I remember my co-worker, Daniel, he came and told me one day, he said, "Well, Marion," he said, "Miss Coles," he said, "word on the street is," because they all knew I just came out of an office from working in purchasing. So you got to have this sometime in life. You can have a change in life, right? So he came to me one day. I was trying to shut some water off, and he came. He said, "Well, he said, Miss Coles, word on the street is you're not going to be here long." I said, "Why you said, who said that?" He said, "Well, they said you came from out of an office. You're not going to be able to handle this heat." I said, I turned around and I looked at him and I said, guess what? Let me tell you, where that word came from on the streets, this is what you need to tell them. They don't know me. Just like these people on this blue app trying to figure me out. I told him, they don't know me. They don't know me. Baby, I got out there and I learned how to shut them water lines off and did this and did that. And I was building. Then it came to the point where I got the promotion to be an inspector. Okay, an inspector, because that's what I learned. Because they knew I was very dominant at work and I knew my job. I would turn circles around those men at work. Okay? So take this and put that and clock that in your T. Okay? And I would run circles around them. But I loved my job. Then it got to the point where one of my supervisors was a female. But she was like this, okay? She used to try to give me, she used to love to go watch the basketball game. She used to try to give me tickets to go watch the basketball game, and she wanted me to go with her. But she was like this. I turned her down several times. The first set of tickets she gave me, I gave them away to someone else, and I didn't go. And then after, I remember walking in one morning, and she said, I'm so happy to see your beautiful smile this morning. It started to get real creepy. Yes, it started to get really, really creepy listening to her say those things to me. And so when she figured that I turned her down, she pulled me outside one day and she said, well, your job performance is not looking right. See, that's that's what they're going to use against you. When things are not going their way, like that thing over there, he using the internet, trying to use it against me, okay? And she told me that my job performance wasn't right. And I said, well, what's wrong with my job performance? Because I'm already done turned circles around this person and that person. They would call me up out of my sleep to go shut off a water line when they couldn't even get the men to shut them off, okay? So you tell me what's wrong. So she just started saying a whole lot of extra things to me to where it just wasn't right. And it wasn't right for those words to be coming out of her mouth, okay? And so she, it was uncomfortable. It was like, I'm gonna put it to you like this. It was like being raped without being raped, okay? Because anytime you have a supervisor that come and say things to you like that, and then they start using that tactic about your job performance. Your job performance isn't up to par anymore. Mind you, I'd already been with the city probably about 10 years, okay? Probably about 10 years, maybe 7 years. And I'm just, if I was so uncomfortable, it was so uncomfortable until I went and spoke to one of the higher people. And I just vaguely mentioned it to him, but it's their job to mention it. It is their job to, if someone bring a problem like that to them, it is their job to mention it. But I was just talking to him because I felt so scared. Okay, I was scared. And so she, next thing I knew, that guy, because he turned it into what they call OIG, he turned it in, he ended up losing his job. But that's what he was supposed to do. I didn't know that. So I ended up getting a phone call from OIG, and what they called was an investigation. They investigated it. When you rejected rejected the manager, yeah. And so they investigated, and so they brought me into the office. I'm trying to figure out, why did they call me? I really had no idea why they called me. And then because I've come to find out he turned it in. What I told him, he turned it in because he was in management. But come to find out, he ended up losing his job because he turned it in. Where they do that? How do a manager lose their job because they turn in someone sexually harassing someone? Because that's what they call it, sexually harassing, okay, by a female. And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the OIG person, and he said, Because let me bring something back. When I worked in purchasing, there was a lady who trained me and showed me everything that I needed to be shown in purchasing. And one of the things that she told me was, you have a problem at work, always write it down. Keep a record. The date, the time, everything. Make sure you have your date correct, because you can have the wrong, you try to remember it in your head, you can have the wrong date down, and that person might have been off that day, but you thinking that that's the date that it happened, but it really wasn't the date that it happened, because you got it confused because you didn't take the time to write it down. You didn't take the time to write the date down. You didn't take the time to write the time down. You didn't take the time to write the name down. That's what she was telling me. So I learned that from her when I worked in purchasing. So when this female was doing all that to me, I was writing it down. I was writing it down. I had a book that was about this thick, like that. So they asked me, well, do something about proof. Record it too, if you can. Yeah, record it too, if you can. Yes. And so the guy, he kept questioning me, and so I had all the proof. I had the proof. By that time, when they told me about it, I went in there with the book. When I found out what it was all about, document. When I found out what it was all about, I went in there with that same book that I was writing, paper trail. That's right, Linda. And that's right, you all are saying some good key things. And this is real too. Hey, Shirley Faye Burrell. Yes, you did. And if anybody know that Shirley Faye Burrell show, know it. Shirley Faye Burrell, I love you, girl. And so I never talked to my family about it. It took me a long time to even talk about it, because I've never really trusted people. I don't care if it's your family. I never really trusted to talk to anybody about it, because once you start telling people things like that, they like to try to throw things up in your face. So I never really talked to them about it. A lot of stuff I held inside of me, and that's what a lot of things that kept me, that made me feel the way I felt. But when I was holding it inside of me, God was also guiding me at the same time. See, I didn't have to go and tell that to Tom, Dick, and Harry. I didn't have to, I didn't have to go tell that to everybody. I held on to it to myself. I may have spoke upon it to a few people, but they couldn't help me. I had to help myself. So you know what they asked me? Because when I showed them all the proof and paperwork, they asked me, well, what do you... Because she was about to lose her job. And I told them, I don't want anyone to lose their job. If you all can just move me from up under her. Because I worked up under her. If you all could move me from under her, I would be just fine. So they did just that. They removed me from under her. So I thought everything was going to be peaches and cream. Everything was going to be good. Then here comes, they put me up under a male. Now, mind you, I was fine. I mean, fine with all the good hips and everything. But still, that doesn't give a person a reason for them to be looking me up and down and thinking that they can get with me. I wasn't no go-getter like that. Okay, because I never wanted nobody to sit back and say, ooh, I done got that. I had that right there. Yeah, I had that. And then I wasn't going to bed with anybody for a position. Okay? Because, see, I wasn't trying to sell my soul to nobody. See, them people over there, they sold to the devil. The devil worked 24 hours a day. He can barely he don't go to sleep. He always trying to find something wrong with somebody and in somebody else's business, and coaching the next person to go and try to destroy this person over here, or destroy that person over there, or that person over there. I wasn't into that. Okay? Hey, Linda Frank, CYA. Date and time. Exactly. Date and time. Yeah. People. Present. Yep. So that helped me out a whole lot. But I didn't want her to lose her job. I did not want her to lose her job. I just asked them to remove me from under her, because all I had to do was just say the word. So if I said something so evil as that, because it wasn't like it was the end of the world. just because she was sexually harassing me. It wasn't like it was the end of the world. It wasn't worth her losing her job over, okay? Exactly, Shirley. Yeah, it wasn't worth exactly. Or Darius. Darius. It wasn't worth her losing her job over. So I just asked them to remove me from up under her. So I thought I was scot-free. Then they put me up under a male. And he was basically doing the same thing. I said, dang, I can't win for losing. This time, I reported it to OIG myself, okay? Because I didn't want nobody else to, because it started to get really bad. No, I didn't. I reported it to, her name was, I forgot her name. She was a female. And I thought that I can go and talk to her. But by that time, Mr. Millich, he was already at my throat, because they couldn't intimidate me. They could not intimidate me. They wanted to intimidate me so bad. Till that one day I told him, I put both of my hands together and I spread my hands out and I said, you know what? I'm going to put all this in God's hands. I can't fight that battle. Because once you put it in God's hands, see, I haven't put them people in God's hands yet. Because once you put it in God's hands, you got to put it in his hands and mean it's going to be in his hands. See, but the devil keep working with him over there. As long as the devil is working, you have somebody out there like that, sometimes you can ignore the person, but sometimes it's hard, okay? But I told him I put it all in God's hands. And that's what I did. I put it in God's hands. They tried their best to get rid of me, but it didn't work. It didn't work. I was so proud of myself that I put that in God's hands, because see, people lose control. But because once you put it in God's hands, I believe you, Cares. When you put it, so I put it in God's hands. I really did, and God, He blessed me. I'm gonna make a long story short, but He truly, truly, truly blessed me, especially when it came to my second husband, and him passing away, and I know I had just filled out like 30 applications to become a senior inspector. And then hopefully one day to become a deputy director, because that's how smart I was when it came to my job, okay? And so then you're sitting back and you're looking at the future, because I always thought about the future, not about just right now. But God gave me that moment and time, and me asking Him and to guide me in the right direction. He gave me that time for me to observe to what's really going on. And when I didn't get that senior inspector position, because I reported the second sexual harassment to one of the, what am I supposed to do? Am I not supposed to report it? Am I supposed to sell my soul and just let it go on? Because one thing for certain and two things for sure, I can tell you this: I didn't have to go to bed with anyone for that position, that senior, that inspector position that I received. I received that with glory and honor. I did. And I didn't have to go to bed, because I was not trying to sell my soul to anyone at the workplace. Why? Why sell your soul? I wasn't trying to sell my soul. Hey, Lamont. So I just sat back, I sat back for a very long time, and I could tell you, I don't have evil in me, okay? I try to do what I can, but all of us have things that we have to look at in life. We have to look at the mistakes that we make, okay? The mistakes that we make on a day-to-day basis, all right? And I'm going to say we, because back then, way before that, me getting that job over there, I used to brain over everything. I used to say crazy things to some people. But then I asked God to forgive me for everything. Hey, Richard, I asked him. And the thing about it is that me living my life and me being able to do what I'm doing, and me being able to ask God to guide me, and me looking at the fact that when I filled all those 30 applications out, 30 applications, and they turned me down on each and every one of them. I'm proud to tell you all they turned me down on each and every one of those applications. Okay? Because every time you see something, it's not always for you. And I always believe that God has something else for you instead of those 30 applications that they send me, that I filled out looking to move up again. Okay? So I didn't get those jobs, okay? And then I said to myself one day, I wanted to, they gave it to one of the guys at work. And they did it out of spite. Because they didn't want me to move up. Because remember, I had reported their sexual harassment. So they called themselves blackballing me. Clock that. Make sure you get this and don't clip that out, okay? They called themselves blackballing me. So when they called themselves blackballing me, and I filled them 30 applications out. No one, I said this story before on my live. I just want to revamp this again, okay? For the ones in the bushes that really sitting in the bushes and want to analyze me. You can't analyze me. You can't put me in a position that I'm not, okay? So when I didn't get the job. And then I kept sitting at my desk and I said to myself, I wanted to do something really to the guy that got the job. I wanted to do something. I wanted to go. And now he drank coffee every morning. So I kept saying to myself for a whole 2 weeks, I said, and I ain't know where to go. I ain't know where to go buy no drugs. I ain't know none of that. I was just like, I want to go buy some drugs and put in his coffee so he can fail his drug test. I wanted to do that. I had that in my mind. Because I felt like they was trying to hurt me. And so then I sat at my desk one day and I said, if I do that to him, what's going to happen to me? Because when you do things intentionally, you got to answer to God with that. So I said to myself, if I sat back and I took the time to go buy something to go put in his coffee, what's going to happen to me? See, people don't think about that before they do things. What's going to happen to me? Because see, the devil was trying to get me like he getting to a lot of these other people out here. But I said, no, if I do that to him, what's going to happen to me? And guess what? I didn't do it. Then I got that phone call. I received a phone call. Well, it wasn't a phone call. I'm just going to make a long story short. When it came to my deceased husband, my last one, he ended up passing away with brain cancer. And I was there to take care of him through his whole time, his last 3 months that he lived. And it was just a time that I took out because God knew that he knows my heart, and he knew that I would be there for him. And so what people didn't know at my job was that I was married to him, and he worked for the city, but we had been separated for many years. And I never told anyone that I was married. Okay? Thank you, Gigi. And I never told anyone that I was married. And then with the city, they have this deal, what they call an e-blast. And so then, now everyone knows my business because it went through all the departments. And I started getting phone calls. Miss Coles, I didn't know you was married. And I said, you weren't supposed to know I was married. Because see, I've always been a very private person. Okay? Very private. They wasn't supposed to know that I was married. So guess what? And I'm going to say this to you all. I'm going to say it very proudly. And even for the ones that's in the bushes. God knew that I was going to be there for him. Just as I was there for my three youngest daughters, Curl and Christy and Candace, and Cherie's dad also. Okay? I was there for him also. Okay? I was there for him when his mother called me and asked me if I could stop the child support, which he really wasn't paying child support anyway. But she asked me if I could stop the child support. Guess what? The next day I got on the phone and I called into the general office and told them that I no longer wanted the child support. Then I had to get it. I had to put something and write it and fax it or email it to them some kind of way. So he no longer had to pay child support. See, that's me. That's what I do. Okay. And then when it came to my girl's dad, he was sick, and I was there for him. I was there for him the same way, and I made sure everything was good for him, and I made sure that my girls visit him. I am who I am, not who someone wants me to be. And the second guy, because I was only married twice, and the second guy, the one that died away with the brain cancer, that's the one that we were separated for all those years, and we never divorced, even though he didn't want to divorce me. But I thought at one point that we was getting divorced. We had the paperwork done and everything, and he signed off on it. And then when he signed off on it, I come to find out it was signed off too early. Exactly, Sophia. So let me tell you all that. Tell you all about this right here. So remember when I told you that I filled out all those 30 applications, and the city, they kept playing with me and not letting me earn my position, a new position. They didn't have to give that to me, okay? God gave it to me. You want to know why? And I wish that, I would rather have him here today. But God knows everything, and he knows how long a person is going to be here. He knows that I was there for him. He knew the timing that it took when I did go to his house and start helping him out. I almost fell asleep at the wheel one morning trying to stay at that hospital with him. He ended up in hospice. I stayed there in that hospice with him, and we weren't even together, and I was just right there with him. But the thing about it is, when he passed away, and the city called themselves trying to take everything, or not get me in for those positions and interview me, God interviewed me. God interviewed me. Yes, he did. He been interviewing me. He been gave me that job a long time ago. He just told me just to sit back, because he knows when we're on, when it's someone's day. And so what happened, he ended up passing away. All the times that I filled out for the position, his check comes into my bank account since he passed away. His paycheck. Yes, you were. Exactly, Shirley. His paycheck, his pension comes into my bank account every month, okay? Right along with my pension. So when they called themselves trying to hold me back and not give me those positions, God already gave me a position. You hear me? He gave me a position. So you call yourself trying to hurt me? God was already there for me. He gave me that position. Even before I retired from the city of Houston, for 4 years I received his pension check in my bank account for 4 years before I even retired. Because see, that's what God, he told me I didn't have to have, don't fill out another application. I got an application for you. And that application that he had for me, was from my husband. I filled that application out a long time ago. I just didn't know that it was going to go through. I didn't know when it was going to go through. So y'all need to stop playing with somebody that's been there and know what it's all about, and to know the love and how to love somebody. Because if I did anything towards anybody and said anything towards anybody, you think God would be blessing me? Boo. Yeah. All the times they sat back and they wasn't trying to give me that position, they end up having to give it to me anyway. And guess what? They had to pay me anyway. Through the grace of God. When you hold your peace, the Lord will fight your battle. He sure will. So 4 years before I even retired from the city of Houston, and I'm still working, I'm still getting my paycheck from the city, and then his check is going into my bank account. Okay? And I shared with his daughter. I I did. Because for a few years she was getting money from him. And then that shortened me. But when she turned 21 years old, it all came to me. So when you think you on here on this internet and you trying to talk about something and say something about somebody, baby, you got to learn me first before you can even learn you don't even know yourself. You got to learn me, boo. So I get it. And so when I'm still working my overtime, I'm still collecting his pension, and I was there for him. I was there for him through thick and thin. I was. He passed away before his mother passed away. I was able to be there with his mother. Okay? When she was lying in her bed. I was the one that made him tell his mother that he had cancer. I told him, you got to tell your mother. That was her boy right there. I could say his name. His name was Kerry. Okay? And he always wanted us to get back together. I just never wanted to get back with him. But I can tell you this. God put us back together. He did. He put us back together when he found out he had that cancer. He had cancer, and I ended up finding out, because God worked in his own mysterious ways on how did I find out if we wasn't together? Because I would always have a birthday party. Every year. And I hadn't seen his sister in probably 15 years. Okay? I would see him from every now and then. And then he ended up getting sick, which I didn't know. And so his sister and his aunt came to one of my birthday parties. He passed away in April. And I saw him. My birthday is in June. So I saw her in June. And so then I had a New Year's Eve party, because I would always have a New Year's Eve birthday party, and everybody would come to my house and have a good time, enjoy themselves. And so I had a New Year's Eve party. So the first time his aunt brought his sister, it was my birthday. And I said, oh, hey. And I said, get anything you want, because that's what I do. And so then his aunt came to my New Year's Eve party. You know when New Year's is in January, right? So she came, and then here come March, February. February came. So my niece had a birthday party at a club, and I be darned, I walk inside that door, inside that club, there his sister is again. His sister is in there again. That's the third time I saw her within that, from June to January to February. That's the third time I saw her, just that fast. And so we started talking about him. She said, well, you know, he's sick. I said, well, what's wrong with him? And she said, well, he got a pinched nerve. I said, and she said, he haven't been working about 3 months. And I said, oh, you know what? I don't, because at that time I didn't know where he lived, because I most definitely didn't want him to know where I live. Okay. But I didn't know where he lived, and he didn't know where I live. because that's the way I roll with it. I once you gone, you gone. I don't need all that extra activity stuff, because that's how people end up ran over by cars and all that kind of stuff, and I don't want that in my life. And so his cousin gave me his address, and I went over there to go see him. And this was just like a month before he passed away. When he finally told me what was wrong with him about the cancer, because I told him, because when I got there, he was so small. And he told me that he do have cancer. And then I was on the phone talking to him, and I said, because I told him, when I was at his place, because I found his cousin gave me his address, and I went over there to go visit him. And he was so happy to see me. He was so happy to see me right there with him. And I never did leave his side. I never left his side. And I did my girl's dad the same way. But I never left his side. And I was there for him all the way in through when he went to hospice, okay? And I was telling him, you can't be laying on your back, because you're going to end up with that mucus in your throat, and you're going to end up with pneumonia. I told him that. And then he called me when I was at work the next day, and he said, because he always knew that I loved Anita Baker, and he loved that movie Poetic Justice. And I remember him texting me. He sent me a text, and he told me he was lying there looking at Poetic Justice and listening to Anita Baker. That broke my heart. I got off of work that evening, and he wanted me to go get him some overalls. So I drove him to Walmart, and I went and got him a pair of overalls. He was about gone, really. But we went and got those overalls, and we went back to his place. He slept on one couch. I slept on the other couch. And I got up. That's when I got up to go to work the next day. And then they called me and told me that he was in the hospital. So I left from work, and I went to visit him in the hospital. And he ended up in hospice probably about 4 days later. And I was right there with him in the hospice. And I remember lying on that chair over there, and he woke me, tapped me. I was sleeping. He tapped on me. I said, "What's going on?" And he said, because they had taken the oxygen off of him. And he said, how things look how it look when your lights are off, and you can't see nothing. And I was like, "What you mean?" Then I got to thinking. Oh, okay, there you go, Lakeisha. Lakeisha, girl, you want some attention, huh? You want some attention. I just screenshotted your name. Hey, this what y'all do. Because she wants some attention. She's saying that stuff over this internet, but she won't say it in our face. She won't say it in our face. Because you a coward, little girl. So go find you somebody else to play with. Go find your pedophile husband. That's what you go do. Get on up off of here. I didn't know your name at first, but I know your name now, boo. Thank you. Thank you for coming in here and being a dummy. But anyway, I got you. Girl, let me show you how let me make sure I got you right. Yeah. I'm glad you came in here. I'm so happy you did. Yes, sir. Yeah. Now go find you another fake page. But anyway, let's finish our good conversation. Let's finish our good conversation. She talking about, I heard you. Baby, if we was in your face, you'll run off and you'll run so fast, you'll trip and bust your head open, girl. Go find somebody else to play with. You don't want no piece of nobody over here. For real. Anyway, he ended up passing away. Okay, I'm telling your story. But he ended up passing away, and I was there for him. I was there for him every step of the way. Every step of the way. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Exactly, Richard. Exactly. But I was there with him every step of the way. You know, I went and bought him those overalls and all that good stuff, and took care of him, and going to forever take care of him. Take care of him, and he's taking care of me on a day-to-day basis every month. Oh, about the light. Y'all know I forget. So he was saying that, you know how when the lights, it feel like you got your lights was turned off, your lights got turned off, and then and you can't see. And I got to thinking, I said, you know what? They took that oxygen off of him. I just said it. He said when you can't see. He said when when it feels like the lights are off and you can't see nothing and it's dark. And then I said yeah. I said yes. And so the next day, you know, I said, you're gonna be all right. I said, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right, Carrie. But they had they had hooked everything from him. They took everything off of him, the oxygen and everything. So I get up to go to work early that morning, and before I could even really get to work, they called me back. And when they called me back, he was on his way out. I just really think that they gave him something to I think they gave him something to, you know, send him out faster. Because he was up. When I got there, he was up and he was talking to me and everything. And then they came in there with this thing, was a tray, and they had something in that tray, and they said that they had to give that to him, and then the guy in the church, the chaplain, he came in there and got me right when they was doing that. He came and got me, and so we went into the little room, and he was talking to me, and by the time I got back in there, they had already had him in white. They changed his gown and they changed his clothes just that fast. We wasn't gone no more than 10 minutes. And they did some fast work. But anyway, that's what I got. I have that. I got you. I just told you all what it was. I just told you all. Exactly. The devil always busy. And the devil always blocked. Now she got to go to a fake page. This is how irrelevant she is. I didn't even read what she was saying. All I know is she heard that me and my daughter was looking for her. All the rest of that, I ain't even read that. I don't give a daggone about that girl, and I don't care about him. They are both miserable and really need some help. She really need to go find her pedophile husband that be out there messing with little kids. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Raymond. But so that's how I end up. That's how I end up with him. You know, we all have some type of great testimony. A great testimony, and I have lots of testimonies that I know how God have blessed me. Yes, Guy. So that goes to let you all know that a person can think that they know you, and see the reason why she had to come in, and say something out the ordinary. Exactly. Morphine for the transition. They should have they didn't have to give him no morphine. They should have just let him pass away on his own. They did not have to give him anything. They should have, Stacy, they didn't have to give him, I truly believe they really did not have to give him anything. He was going to go on his own anyway. You heard what I told you, what he said. He knew that he had nothing. It was like the life was leaving out of him, because he said to me that you know how you feel when you, or something about feeling when your lights are turned, when you get your lights turned off and you don't have no lights. So it's like he didn't have any lights, so he didn't need them to help him because he was already going. Good night. Good night. Who said that? Wait a minute, where you go? Hey, Raymond. He left in peace, Marion. Praise God. Yes, he did. He really did. And then not only did he just leave in peace, he left with me being there by his side. He had the chance to see me all those days, which God already knew I was going to be there. He knew I was going to be there. That's why he made sure that his sister saw me in June. He made sure his sister saw me in January. He made sure his sister saw me in February, because he already knew he was getting ready to leave. And so that was his way of putting us back together, because that's what he wanted. And see, that's what a lot of people don't understand. If you don't have that mind frame that God have, and you think in his way, see, I think in God's way. I don't think in somebody else's way, because how else am I going to figure out that I saw his sister, hadn't seen her in 15 years. I saw his sister in June for my birthday, saw her in January for New Year, and saw her in February. Saw her in February. We talking about three times in a row. Yes. So can't nobody tell me about me. You can't tell me about me. I know me. God knows my heart. I don't give a daggone what the next person says, or do, or feel. And comfortable. Black healthcare is not the same for others. Hey, Stacy. Many times at the end there. And they don't like for them. Well, they told me that they was feeding him. They told me they was feeding him. So why would they feed him? Because he did eat some food right before that. But why would they do that? Why would they feed him? Let him eat and then give him something to make him to leave this world. You know, that really, you know what I love in life is that I had the opportunity to be there with him. I had the opportunity to be there with him. I think a lot of people do forget the way God works, because it took me a long time to figure out how he works. It took me a long time to figure out how he talked to you. It took a long time for me to figure out how he give you signs. Because when those times that I saw her in June and then January and then in February, those were signs right there. Those were signs. God was talking to me. Is it talking to me through her? Through her. Yeah. Made him comfortable. Hold on, you all. I got to give me some water. Made him comfortable and not suffer through the pain. I don't think he was suffering through no pain. Y'all, you all, I really don't think he was suffering. I really think that he was good. Y'all, hold on. I got to get my thing right here. He just wanted me to be there. Some water. Oh, my sink so clean. gonna come on and say she heard we was looking for her. I ain't read the rest of it. She don't want this smoke. For real. Face to face, she don't want this smoke. She good on the internet. I'm glad she came on. I had a chance to screenshot her. To screenshot her whole night. Oh, Kathy. Hey, Kathy Horton. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, some of them are terrible in the black health. I say I don't want to. Don't revive me. Let me go. I don't want to suffer. But I can't say he didn't suffer. Hold on, I gotta see if I got my charger in here. I can say he really didn't suffer. And then he had me by his side. That's what made it so good. That girl wanted some attention. She got the attention she was looking for. But she face to face, she don't want this smoke over here. Let's do it face to face. Hey, Kendra. Thank you, Leslie. Amazing testimony. Thank you. Thank you. And I have plenty more testimonies. I can just say God has really blessed me throughout my life. I didn't have to sit there and dwell on life in the past, okay? I didn't have to do that. I just want to be who I am, not who the next person want me to be. Just because they can't stand you or anything like that. I've been laying on this side right here. I think I kind of like got it a little bit. But I am who I am. I just lost my brother-in-law on his day. Oh, that's you know what, Sharon, that's a good blessing thing to do, is spend time with your loved ones when they're most needed. Yes, I took you all to his family reunion. I took you all to his family reunion, and everyone there was so nice and pleasant. I still talk to his family. There's some beautiful people. If I was such a bad person, they wouldn't even invite me to their family reunion. Okay, when you can get invited to a family reunion, and the relative is gone, and they still they send you an invite. That's what you call love. Okay, that's what you call love. Yes, thank you all so much for the stars. I didn't even see all the stars coming in, but I truly thank you all so much. Thank you. And I didn't have to beg for them either. But anyway, so everything is gonna be all right. I got a lot of business to take care of here before I leave tomorrow, and a lot of paperwork to go get filled out. I'm glad that person put their name on here. I knew that last name. But I wasn't sure. So now I have that last name. Now I have your last name. I already know his name, And I've already screenshotted the lives already, and now it's time for me to go forward. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you really seriously, enough is enough. My hair cute. My condolence to your friend. Hey, Linda Cleve. To who? Who, Linda? That wasn't my friend. That was my husband. Hey, Linda Cleve, girl. Nita. You would love to meet me. Don't y'all forget, we have the seafood extravaganza in Baltimore. No, I don't want her on my live. No. I'm not gonna feed into that trash and put her on my live to see what she have to say and everything. I don't need to. Michelle, no. I wish you wouldn't have even said that. What would I put her on my live for? To see what she have to say. I heard enough of what the lies that she have to say. She is a nobody who sits back and boggles in somebody else's life. So why in the world would I put her on my live? Why? So we can go back and forth and bring the views up. I don't care about that. My piece is better than that. So why would I bring her on my live? No, ma'am. She will not come on my live. That's just like adding fuel to the fire. I got other things in store for her and him. Exactly. Okay, Sky, you get your ticket yet, girl? Send me your info. If you're looking for a ticket, if you're trying to purchase your ticket, just inbox me and I will send you the payment methods. And make sure you send your phone number, your name and phone number, okay? Your name, your phone number, and your email address. Because if you're not willing to give all that, don't even pretend like you're going to buy a ticket. If you go buy a ticket and you haven't sent your email and phone number, you won't get no location. So don't think you're gonna go spend your money. Y'all gonna put some money together and y'all gonna purchase a ticket and you think you're gonna come up under a fake name and we gonna put you in there. Nope. We want your phone number, because you will not get in that group chat unless we have your real phone number. Not a fake phone number, a real one. One that comes with your name on there. No, we good, Michelle. We good. I'm not a violent person, so and I'm not getting ready to go back and forth with neither one of them on okay, it will be. Okay, yeah. Get your 2 tickets, boo. Go back and forth with someone on this blue app and bring them on to my live. Just to try to have an argument? No, boo, I'm better than that. I am better than that. You all heard profanity come out of my mouth today, and that's it. That's it. That is it. Okay, send everything. Yep. She went on my daughter page, talking smack on my daughter page. And then my daughter called her. She called her through Messenger. She wouldn't answer that phone. And my daughter sent her a good message. And guess what? She blocked her. Coward. Why you didn't talk to my daughter, Lakeisha? You should have talked to her so she can wear you out. But you going to have the nerve to say, I heard you. She had the nerve to come on here and say, I heard you and your daughter was looking for me. But she called you the other day and you ain't answer that phone, Lakeisha. Why you didn't answer that phone? She called you the other day after you sent her that message, and she called that number on Messenger, and you did not answer that phone, Lakeisha. But you had the nerves to come on here and say, I heard you and your daughter was looking for me. She looked for you the other day and you ain't answer that phone. You took off running and blocked her. Quick. You ain't want no part of that, huh? That shows me exactly who you are. A scary cat, coward, and everything else. You just run behind this blue app. But did you go tell them that you didn't answer that phone when she called you? Did you tell the people that she called you the other day and you didn't answer that phone, and then when she wore your butt out on that phone and on that message and through that message and you hurried up and blocked her, but then had the nerves to come on here and say that you heard that we was looking for you? Girl, she looked for you the other day and you ain't answered that phone. Sky, it's gonna be like a luau, something really cute, luau, and you don't have to just wear dress luau. We don't want to hear nothing about Ricky. Go on over there. How you know so much about Lakeisha? Lakeisha works a lot, but and I'm pretty sure, I'm guaranteed that's why she did not know. She heard that message. Where you go? Where did you go? I'm pretty sure she work a lot. Boy, you hurried up and took that message off of there quick, huh? Don't nobody believe that. You pretty sure she work a lot, and that's why she didn't answer. Nope. She didn't answer it because she got scared. She could have answered that phone. She get on there with him. She could have answered that phone. So don't try to come on here and try to sugarcoat and say, I'm pretty sure she work a lot. She works a lot. So I'm pretty sure that's why she didn't answer the phone. Woo, that's a good one right there, boo. That's exactly. She only work her mouth. I'm pretty sure she works a lot, and that's why she didn't answer the phone. And then you said that and then hurried up and got on up off of here. She didn't want that smoke. She did not want that smoke. Exactly, Levita. But that person hurried up and got. They said, excuse me. They said what they had to say, and then hurried up and took their comment down. They tell on themselves every time. I'm pretty sure she work a lot. Oh, golly, by geez. I'm pretty sure she works a lot. I'm sure she works a lot. I'm pretty sure that's why she didn't answer the phone. Go find somebody else to tell that to. Go find somebody else to tell that to. Because you telling that to yourself. Y'all the only dummies over there. I'm pretty sure she work a lot. She works a lot. I'm pretty sure that's why she didn't answer the phone. Nope, she didn't answer that phone because she knew my daughter cussed her butt out in that message. And then she hurried up and blocked her. She blocked her quick. But then gonna have the nerve to come on here and say, I heard that you and your daughter was looking for me. Girl, you done made my day tonight. You made my day. Ooh, you cracking me up on that one right there. Ooh, Lordy have mercy. That's a funny one. But you know what you are? I'm going to get off it. Ooh. Hey, Sandra, you turned in early. Oh, boy, that, you know what? You need an Academy Award for that message, that comment that you just left on here and hurried up and took off. You need an Academy Award for it. Did anybody have any trophies? Because I hope you don't think that I buy what you just finished saying. Nope, that's not why she didn't answer that phone. She didn't answer that phone because she's a coward. So anyway, we're going to leave her alone. And I'm going to get some paperwork done on her. I'm glad she came on here with her name. And now I have her name and everything. We got this, boo. You are such a dummy. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, I got to go, you all. I thank you all so much. We had a great time. She does a bitch. She want to try to get in there with her. Anybody have a trophy? That person need an Academy Award for what they just said on here. Like we was gonna believe that. From here on out, I'm just gonna start laughing. Girl, don't you come back on here talking about somebody looking for you. You heard somebody was looking for you, and my daughter called you the other day, and you ran real quick and hurried up and listened to the message, and then you hurried up and blocked her because she wore your butt out. Baby, you gonna be all right when all your swelling go down. You gonna be just fine. Laugh at that. Y'all have a good night. Thank you. Girl, you done made my night with that one. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you all, please, don't pay attention to the people. Who else? Y'all sitting here talking about y'all had trophy. Sandra. Sandra. If you would have came on here earlier, you would have heard all the positive testimonies that I had on here. And then all of a sudden I get a message on here with somebody saying that they looking for me. That they heard me and my daughter was looking. If you don't like what's being said on here, and if you don't like me defending myself, don't come back to my page. You don't have to come back, okay? Because I can say anything that I want to say. And if you don't like it, go over there with them and have fun with them. If you think it's okay for them to keep harassing a person for the past 3 years, and for 3 years, I hadn't been saying anything to them. If you don't like it, don't come back to my page. That's all I got to tell you. If you don't like what they saying, if you go over there and listen to what they saying, and you tell me if it's okay. You find somebody that's gonna tell you, if you didn't like what I said earlier today, bye. I don't give a damn what you say. It's not your life. This is my life over here, not yours. So go find you another page to go to. In fact, let me help you. You probably one of them people anyway. I don't care if you love to see me cook. You don't have to come on here. I'm telling you right now. You think it's okay for them to sit back and say what they want to say about and slander my name, and you think it's supposed to be okay? You think it's okay for her to come on my page tonight and say what she want to say, and everything is supposed to be okay? Wasn't nobody bothering them. I'm speaking a great testimony, and here she come. And then here you come with your foolishness. Trying to tell me about me. Tell you about yourself. Because if you don't like it, you don't have to come. Because once I lose you, I'm going to get somebody else. But don't come on here telling me nothing. And I mean that. Mm-hmm. Like you coming on here, like that's supposed to change my mind. Is it going to change their mind from them going on saying, spreading lies about anybody, spreading lies about me, spreading lies and saying things? Is that going to change anything? Because anybody on here can tell you that they were not on our conversation tonight. Okay? You just happened to come in after the great testimony. After she done came in and said what she had to say, and then I end up blocking her. I say what the heck I want to say to defend myself. I read what you said. I read what you said. Why are you still talking about this? You was on it earlier, and you came back in this evening, and why are you still talking about it? That's what you said. Okay. So don't try to change it. Then you're gonna say this is crazy. Like I didn't read what you said. Don't ask me about something about what am I talking about. And you was on earlier, and then now, and you still talking about it. You wasn't on here. You wasn't on here at first when I was on here. We was all on here, and I was giving my great testimony. You wasn't on here then, but now you want to come on later. Okay, just because you ordered seasoning from me, Chandra, that doesn't give you the right to come on here and say what you want to say to me. You're not going to blackmail me with the seasoning that you bought for me and my daughter. Because that don't sound right. Just because you bought seasoning, it doesn't mean that gives you the right to say what you want to say. Don't bring that up because you don't have to buy any more seasoning. And I mean that. Just because I bought seasonings from you and your daughter. So you think that you run my page because you bought seasonings from us? I don't care. You think it's okay for you to come in here and say, you was on here earlier talking about that, and then I come back. No, you came back at the wrong moment when she came on and harassed my page. That's what you did. So then you want to come back and say that you bought seasoning from you and your daughter. Girl, go find somebody else to play with because I don't care because you bought seasonings from us. That just because you bought seasonings, that doesn't give you the right to say what you want to say. And that just because you bought seasonings don't mean that I'm going to sit back and bow down to you and watch the words that come out of my mouth. You go on over there with them. And I mean that. You don't have to buy another seasoning from me at all. Now, you the one came in here with that crap. Not me. Didn't want to bring up some seasonings because you bought seasonings. I bought seasonings from you and your daughter. Okay. Yeah, you said something wrong. You said something wrong when you came in. But you know what, Sandra? You don't even have to say anything else because I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you. You know what you said from the beginning, and that's it. That's it. And I'm not even going to read all your message right there. Okay. In fact, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to where you go. I'm going to where you go because I can't find you. I'm going to delete your message. Reply. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, think you can come in here and try to tell somebody something. Block yourself. Block yourself. I want you to block yourself. You block yourself, boo. Block yourself. Let me see you block yourself. I'm not even going to block you. You block yourself. That's what you do. Because you thought you can come in here and say something. I don't know who you are anyway. Probably never even bought a piece of seasoning and period. Just wanted to say something. Block yourself. Block, 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 block. What I did was I deleted your comment. But I'm going to leave that on there when you said, block me with the question mark. Block me. You blocked yet? Did you block yourself yet? I'll tell you what. I'll do you that favor. I'm going to ban you. Block, 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 block. Only time somebody come in, sometimes a person come in here like that, that lady right there is an op, is a whole op. Get yourself on up off my page. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, I was getting ready to say good night to you all. After we had our good testimony and everything like that, great testimony, they don't want to hear anything positive like that. They want to continue to hear something negative, and that person right there probably never even bought a piece of seasoning from me at all. Block, 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 block. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow. They'll be back tomorrow. They will be back tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to give me some rest tonight so I can get up and go get ready to go on my next journey. Either I'm going to leave tomorrow or I'm going to leave on Sunday. One of the two. Okay? Look at her. Look at her. I told y'all she was a troll. Y'all look on there. Look at that name. If y'all can see her name on there, go look at her page. Go look at her page for me real quick. Because I banned her and she came back. She came back again. And I still didn't read your comment. I just noticed your name. Yeah. They give themselves away every time. They don't like the response that I give them. You love my hair? Look, and then she came back again. After I banned her, she came back again. So what that tell you? She wasn't no loyal supporter. She ain't never buy no seasoning. She wished she probably could have. Maybe she can get some of that hater sauce. Hey, AJ White, right? Hey, Miss Barron, I love your hair. Thank you. Sophia Turner, Cheryl Hill. That's why I like you. You keep it real. Yeah, I'm just saying. For real. You never seen that name as long as you've been watching, because she's a bush watcher. See, if you got to look at some of the key words that they say. When she said she was on earlier and I was talking about it and she's still talking and you still talking. They think nobody going. And then she had to come back, and then she turned the nerves to come back and say, I bought some seasoning from you and your daughter. Baby, I got a lot of people's names in my head, and your name don't. There's a Sandra that bought somebody. It wasn't you. Oh, AJ, right. I don't know if I'm ever coming back to Louisville. Nope. I gotta go, you all, boy. These people, they give themselves away every time. They don't even know how to sit back and just watch. They just have to say something and know they gonna get blocked. Hello from Louisville, Mississippi. Hello. How are you all doing tonight? Oh, AJ, I'm not going back there. I ain't going. Oh, look, she back again, y'all. Poor her. She gonna be all right when all her swelling go down. She gonna be just fine. If she think I'm reading her comments, she got another thinking coming. Okay. 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 There she go. That's her right there. That's her. Now let me come over here again. Yeah. Now let's see. Let's see here. I don't care how many followers she has. Okay, let's see. I'm studying her real quick. Y'all just hold on a minute. Cookie Lindsay. Exactly, Quan. You bought seasoning too, huh? Me 3. I'm doing this because I got my phone charging. Okay, so I need to see something real quick. Hey, Cheryl Hill, thank you for the stars. There we go. Oh, poor her. Hold on. There we go. That's why I hate iPhones. I can't stand an iPhone. Wow. She bought seasonings, huh? Then she bought seasonings. Sandra, can you go get your husband that's sitting in that seat with you and tell him how you getting on the internet harassing other people? How you just sitting there harassing other people? Because you have nothing else to do. After I done banned you about 3 times and you still back again and you think somebody's supposed to believe in you? You ain't never bought nothing from me, girl. Stop lying. Stop lying. You just a keyboard thug just like the rest of them. And in fact, let me go back through your profile so I can go to your friends list and let your friends know that you're a bully. Where you go? That's why we know that you are a troll. I don't care if you do have them. There you go. Now let me see. Let me go. Okay. 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 Janice, she from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to ask her, does she know that you a bully? I'm going to ask her that. I'm going to ask Janice. You know the last name, right? You know the last name. I don't care. I don't care if you supported that. I don't care. That doesn't give you the right to say what you want to say. That doesn't give you the right. Just because you bought some seasonings through me and Boss Lady, I don't care. Who do you think you are? That don't give you the right to do what you want to do and say what you want to say. So go find you somebody else to play with. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. You're not changing my mind about anything that you said. Okay? Go find you somebody else to play with. Because, see, you got to be, it's something about you, because I done banned you about 5 times. But this time, oh, okay. Oh, you the same one that sent me a message the other day. You the same one that sent me a message the other day, and you didn't like what I told you when I sent you that message back. Yeah, here it go right here. You the same one who sent me that message. That message the other day. You said, maybe your daughter didn't lie if that's how she feels or felt. Sounds like you both to discuss what? Get your words out right. To discuss what? I found you. That's who you are, boo. You mad because I asked you why was you inboxing me and you don't know nothing about me and my family, so why are you sending me a message? Yeah. And you know nothing about her dad. People can always say things that they want to say and still don't mean that it's the truth. Sometimes people, when they got things, so much stuff in their head, they imagine things. Mind your own damn business. That's what you do. Because I found you, boo. You. The same one I sent a message to when you sent that message to me the other day. You the same one. Girl, go find somebody else to play with. Somebody else's mother, father, or whoever you want to find to play with. But I'm not the one for you to play with. You didn't like what I told you. You didn't like that message I sent back to you. Girl, stop lying. There you go right there. Your same profile picture. Your same profile picture and what you said, and what you said in that message right there. That same profile picture and you. Stop lying. You just thought I wasn't going to find you, and no. But I went through the messenger to see, and you ain't never buy no seasonings from me. So stop lying. Exactly. It's talking about she never sent me a message, and the proof is in the pudding right here. With your same name, same profile picture. Boy. I started to block you the other day, but I decided to leave you on there. I decided to leave you on there. Yeah. Sandra Bender. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, she from over there. Yeah. Right. she gonna come over here, and then she wasn't expecting for me to find her picture. She wasn't expecting for me to pull her up on Messenger. I looked you up and it came up. Yep, call me what you want. Y'all see that name right there, the Andrea Cornish? Report that person right there. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No, hold on. Woo, Andrea almost had them report you. I had to go back and read that again. No, don't report her. Yeah, people are something else. She got busted. Cold busted. I'll tell you one thing for certain, and two things for sure. They slipping more and more. They slipping more and more. Boy. Andrea, watch the words that you're using on there, okay? Because they'll block you for that. So I'm gonna take that off of there, okay? I'm gonna take that message off of there for you. Because I don't want them messing with you. You can't use those type of words on here, okay? Another ditch digger. Talking about it wasn't her. I just pulled you all the way up, boo. I just pulled you all the way up. Now, January 25th, she said, happy birthday. Then, February, I said, thank you so much. Then she came back and said, yummy. And then on Wednesday, 10:53 p.m., that's when she came up with that message. And then on Thursday at 11:54 a.m., I sent her this message back. Okay, boo? Okay? Yeah, they ran Andrea hot. almost told them to report Andrea. I had to go back and read what she was saying. What she said. She got double cold busted. I mean double cold busted. She must start. But she didn't realize that I got this over here too. And then she don't have to come back and say, I like your phone. Yeah, I bet you do like this phone. Boom. The same one that I pulled you up on. This one right here. She came back after I banned her. She came back 3 times. Now, okay. Because they probably send her over here. She not paying attention. Oh, Lordy. This ice melted quick in here. Let me put some more ice in here. I'm going to get off of here, you all. She got double cold busted. Got to be more careful she got busted. Come on now. I'll get this last bit of water from out of here. Oh, find the school where she's a principal. Did y'all see that? Yeah, find that school where she's a principal and send it to me. I done already blocked her and banned her the other way. If you can go in there and pull her information up and find out what the school, just go through her page. It's there somewhere. You received your seasoning? Yay! I'm going to get off of here, you all. I got to go. Okay? I got to go. And might be lying about that too, huh, Levita? Uh-huh. Yeah, 3 times. 3 times. 3 times, T. Edwards. I banned her 3 times, and she came right back again. Up under the same name. If so, she need to be reported. Kathy, yours is on his way. They say Friday. Well, today Friday, so you should have received it. Depending on where you live, because like my cousin lived in California, it took hers 2 days later. Have a good night, Danielle. Good night, T. Edwards. Yes, I do. I do. Call me. Call me. I'm getting ready to get off here, Linda. Call me. Okay, Loretta, call me. Call me so I can get it set up already. Okay, Tammy. Okay, you got her full name, right? Thank you all so much. Much love to you all. I love you also, D Nice. They gonna keep slipping. They gonna keep slipping. Boy, when I brought this up and showed her profile, this you said it wasn't you. This you right here. It's you. And showed the message that she sent to me. And I told her, don't do that. You don't know what you're talking about. I wrote her a long paragraph. Stop playing with me. Now you see how I'm not bothering these people and they come inside my inbox? Yes, you can call me. Got to catch me up. I'm sleepy. I've been driving. But you can call me. If you can't catch me tonight, catch me in the morning. That's because I send you a message and said, call me. But anyway, you all, I got to get off here because I think my light's still on in my truck, and that's been a couple of hours. Let me see. No, it went off. It went off. But I got to go. Because I got to go get my stuff out of this truck, and then I got to repack everything, unpack and repack some things. Living Charles, I saw you. Okay, call me tomorrow, Linda. Living Charles, you still on here? Hey, boo. Good night, Miss Sweet Pea. Oh, Miss Sweet Pea, I had to, I'm going to give you some different hater sauce. Because that one been sitting in there. And so when I brought that one out, I didn't like the way it looked. And because, you know, it's got shipped to you. And then it came back to me. So I got to make some more. So when I go to Dallas, I'm going to make some more. And I didn't want to send you that one right there. Okay? So I got you, boo. Okay? You all have a good night. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let nothing bite, boo. Good night. Thank you all so much for tuning in.